Now, PlayStation. Coolios. So, I guess today, guys, because of the massive-ass PlayStation thing that happened yesterday, we're going to be talking about the PlayStation 5 conference that happened.
No, I disagree.
Oh, okay. Well, see ya.
I think we need to recover the Inside Xbox events.
Oh, yeah. That was
massive
great.
announcement.
To be fair, I got super hyped about Scorn, but I'll mention that later. Anyway, I'm Josh.
I'm George.
And I am Callum.
Oh. Scott is not joining us today because he is a loser.
He
Yeah.
doesn't care about PlayStation.
He doesn't care.
Sorry, is what it sounded like.
Which is fair enough.
Yeah.
I like to think I'm a liberal gamer. I aim to own all of the consoles.
You are by console.
I am by console, and anyone who
Wait,
says
no.
otherwise is
Because I suppose there's Nintendo as well. So,
I'm tri console.
or is it like pan console? Where it's just,
Yeah, I'm probably
What?
pan
You-
console.
you would
you
be
you just get the vibe. I don't know.
Anyway, I feel the best thing to do with this, because there was so much fucking shit that they showed, is just to literally go through it on a point-to-point basis. So I have some like thoughts and stuff written down. Did any of you know anything about like the specs of the console before this event?
No.
No, I knew they had done an event a couple of months ago in which they went into like the solid state drive and stuff, but I didn't watch that.
It was very
I
boring.
did not. Yeah.
Basically, all I get from it is that the PlayStation is slightly less powerful than the Xbox, but it's not really going to make much of a difference, because if it did, they wouldn't have allowed it to happen in the first place, right? They have their spies in each other's company telling them what everyone's doing. Anyway, to get back to the event, the first thing we saw was a pretty awesome compilation of all of the past PlayStation stuff.
Yeah.
Followed by an incredibly lackluster future of gaming GTA 5 announcement. Like, why whoever the hell's idea it was to start the conference with GTA 5?
Yeah, it's stupid.
And they started with the Rockstar logo. So I was like, oh my god, is it GTA 6 or something? And no, it's the third remaster of GTA 5.
I just can't believe that. What GTA 5, while it has an absolute ton of content now, the amount of money you have to spend to be able to access that content in the first place, and the fact that like this was like the first thing they showed, and they specifically advertised the money problem. They were like, "Oh, you'll get $1 million a month," which, by the way, also isn't even enough to be able to play some of the stuff that they've added. It's.
I mean, fair play to GTA for making it across 3 generations with one game, but
It's obviously still popular.
yeah.
Massively popular still.
Yeah.
Uh,
not the most exciting start.
Yeah, it didn't get me hyped. Luckily, the next thing got me very hyped.
yeah.
I feel like it should have been the other way around, really. They should have done the past of PlayStation, then shown the Miles Morales Spider-Man game that was coming out. Which is...
Okay. Is it a game, or is it DLC to the existing Spider-Man game?
It has to be a game, right?
Because I thought it was a game, but it never actually said. So I was a bit confused. And obviously, I've not played the Spider-Man game. But
There was an interview apparently this morning in which someone came out and said you could call it an expansion or an enhancement, which makes me think it's going to be a separate expansion pack, but not a sequel-sized game.
They really made it look like a full title, like sequel by the trailer. Ah, all right
The
then.
graphics look pretty good too.
Well, there's no.
it looked cool.
There's no release date, and obviously people are hype about Miles Morales Spider-Man at the minute because of Into the Spider-Verse. But that's really disappointing.
Yeah, release date of this year. I thought that was one of the few ones that actually got a release
I thought it didn't
date.
have a release date. I could be wrong. I might have misseen it.
Fair enough.
Actually, if it is an expansion, you're probably right. It is this year. I'll just quickly check now. Yeah, you're right. It's the shit. And then we had Gran Turismo.
Yeah. I was very happy. I was very happy to see Gran Turismo. I loved the Gran Turismo game as a kid. Gran Turismo 4, Gran Turismo 5. Both great.
GT Town menu looked pretty cool, I thought.
Yeah, that it showed because the previous Gran Turismo game just dropped single player campaign mode, like the main blood of the franchise to go for esports.
Of every single racing car game ever made, basically.
Yeah, like very few don't have that. So I'm glad they're adding it back in.
Have you ever played Gran Turismo, George? Because you play Forza, right?
Yeah, but not for a while, I don't think.
I played...
The last one I probably played was PS2. I think I had one on PS3, maybe.
I think mine was Gran Turismo 4, the last one that I played a ton of.
See, I found it difficult to be like judge the gameplay on how good it looked because I never play with like in the car view. I always do it like third person. So that to me just looked a bit confusing. But then if other people play it in that way, then it might not look confusing. I said that
to Callum yesterday when we were watching it. I was like, man, this looks awesome, and the graphics looked awesome, and I loved that they were showing tons of gameplay. I just wish that they'd shown more of like the car, other than the inside.
Yeah, because the game looks prettier on the outside, and the game looked very pretty from what they saw. So it would have been nice, but maybe developers want people to play inside the car. They always seem to show that view.
They put a lot of effort into it, right? They have to get all the inside. Like the Bugatti Huayra in Forza, they like got it inch for inch accurate, and that has a mental interior.
Well, just like I imagine the like ultimate way to play it is with like the fucking steering wheel accessory and everything, and in that view, so it's as close to the real experience of driving a car as possible.
And racing chairs.
But I don't suppose many people do actually play it like that. I play it third person with the controller, like a loser.
Same.
Also, they haven't actually been releasing many like steering wheel stuff this generation.
No, that was quite an old thing, wasn't it?
The 360,
I remember having one on the PS2 and playing Need for Speed Most Wanted with it.
The 360, I remember when Forza Motorsports 3 came out, they had like a thing with a wheel that you could get.
I think it's moved to PC now. You have those truck simulator games and all that, Euro Truck Simulator. And I think it's moved to that. There's still I'm sure you can still play the Forza Horizon games and Gran Turismo, but it seems to have moved more to PC. Console, it's not really a thing anymore.
And of course, Gran Turismo is an exclusive. There's no way it's going to release on the Series X.
No.
There was no release date on that, but it looked good. Like it looked well done.
Yeah.
And then after that, which was probably like the first big surprise, because I kind of went into it being like, oh, we'll probably get a Spider-Man thing. There was a couple of things that I went into thinking we would probably get. Some of them we did not get. Arkham, I'm looking at you. But the next thing was Ratchet and Clank sequel.
Looked sick.
Looked amazing. Like
I need to check which Ratchet and Clank game I played because I can't remember.
I had a demo on the PS2 that I played non-stop. I just kept playing the same level over and over again.
I had Up Your Arsenal, I specifically remember, and I also had the spin-off. Do you remember that it was called Ratchet Deadlock? And it was some kind of third-person brawler, arena kind of thing. That was weird.
Didn't that come out at the same time as like they were doing a ton of like platformer spin-offs, like racing games and stuff?
Yeah,
like Crash Racing and stuff.
And Jackson Dexter, I think, had some kind of racing game or some kind of spin-off as well.
I played Tools of Destruction, I believe.
Is that on the PS3?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never played past the PS2, but I used to love Ratchet and Clank when I was younger.
I mean, I loved the like pulling the rift towards you mechanic.
Yeah.
I thought that looked so cool.
If that's actually like a level where you're instantaneously going into different worlds as part of the level, that's awesome. And that's like, like the guy was saying afterwards, that's perfectly what the consoles should be able to do now. Because if that was this gen, there would be a fucking loading menu in between every single portal, right?
Or it would be like Fallen Order, where it's just like, it's loading really quickly, but there's just a bit of a frame rate drop. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, and then like the texture.
Just sit tight for 10 minutes, and we'll be sure to get you there. But...
Or they would do it as like a gimmick in a level, but only have it happen a couple of times, whereas they were showing it like 10 or so times every couple of seconds.
And I just hope that's actually the case in the game, and it wasn't just something they did for the trailer.
Yeah. I mean, the one that they did because they split it in two, didn't they? They had like the trailer and then a bit of gameplay. And obviously the trailer had it constantly going through portals. But I think it did go from level through a portal to a next bit and like go pretty smoothly.
It was, and it also ended with Clank going through a portal, right? And then seeing female Ratchet.
It's just that's going to be mental from a linear kind of thing. Like, how do you get so many dimensions lining? Like, that's going to be.
The weapons also look pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
There was the like terraforming one or something that turned them into like plants or something, and there was obviously like explosive ones and shit. It was great.
I am right in saying this time that there is no release date.
No, I did not check, but I don't think so.
There weren't many release dates.
No, that's because this morning I tried to go through all of them as quickly as possible, trying to find release dates for them all, and I forgot to do it for these first 4. But then I went back and did it. So,
White Man was like one of the only PlayStation exclusives. I feel like that had that.
The next we had a Square Enix announcement, which for a split second got me very hyped because I was like, "There's no way they'll do Final Fantasy." But they did. But for a split second, I thought they were going to. But they showed something pretty interesting. A new property called Project Athia. Or Athia. I mean, one or the other. Where you play as like a... It was almost like nature. She had like some sort of nature powers. She was making like trees wrap around buildings and stuff. I mean, it looked cool. I don't think we saw any proper like gameplay, though. It was all just like cutscenes.
Yeah.
But awesome ass dragon at the end. That thing looked cool. I'm always up for like a new story driven game, but I'll have to wait until I see more with that. I don't know if you guys have any strong opinions on it or not.
I mean, I thought it looked awesome. That was pretty much what you could tell from the trailer. Yeah. But it did look awesome.
I just thought it looked a bit forgettable. Like, it looked cool, but at the same time it just I don't know. Fantasy games sometimes just blend into one.
Yeah, I get that sometimes. I trust Square Enix quite a bit though with story stuff. So I'll it's on like my maybe it'll be great list. We just need to see more. And there was no release date for this one. But it isn't exclusive, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's what we've got written down.
I'm pretty sure it's exclusive when I looked it up, yeah. Because they kept being like, PlayStation Studio, which I assume means it's a PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah, you'd think.
Yeah.
The next one was real interesting, basically. A game called Stray, which I guess the premise is humans have left the world or are dead or have died out, or there's only a few of them left.
It said there was like graffiti that said R.I.P. humans.
And then in place of the humans are these like almost like primitive looking robots with like face panels that were showing like emojis and stuff.
Yeah.
But you play as a cat exploring a dystopian world, I guess.
The game we all needed. I remember watching the trailer and I kept thinking, man, this cat. Are we playing as the cat? And it kept zooming, and then finally it shows that big thing. I was like, yes.
I'm super interested in it because like it's just a new perspective for you to like. The whole premise of like putting you in the perspective of an animal and you explore the world that way sounds really cool to me, especially because it's a dystopian world by the looks of it. But we also got a release date for this, but it was 2021.
As we're seeing throughout this conference, people are really going hard on the dystopian, cyberpunky aesthetic right now,
I
aren't they?
wonder why. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that, George, or...
I mean, you guys like cats a lot more than I do, just in general. But I don't know. It didn't stick out to me particularly, even if it was a dog and you were exploring. I don't know how much that would have stuck out to me. I'd like to see more because I'm not really sure how that game would play. Like, cats can't fight people and stuff.
Yeah, I
don't know. It'll be interesting to see the mechanics of the game and how it actually works.
Which is why I think it's going to be the story over gameplay, and you're going to be discovering things. It'll be like an adventure platformer game, I imagine, where you're discovering stuff about why the world has become, and why there's robots instead of humans.
Imagine it being some kind of stealth as well.
Yeah,
because you're a
definitely.
cat.
Or it's actually a human, but just like a really dedicated furry, and that's the last human in the world.
That's later on. There was a game for that later on, George.
I thought you were going to say that it was like a human soul in a cat body.
I mean, that is a serious thing. Yeah, that could be a thing. Because it did have like a little computer backpack thing on.
It looked, which I imagine will be like your menus and stuff and the HUD. But the next thing they showed was stuff we already knew, basically. They were like, by the way, guys, here's the controller and the specs.
True.
Which they keep pushing this haptic feedback thing with the controller. Like, there was like 8 times where developers were like, with the haptic feedback. Which, from what I can tell, is just basically better controller vibrations.
Yeah.
I don't really get why that's like a massive thing that they're pushing.
I don't even really like vibration. I find vibration annoying. Controller vibration anyway.
Especially when your mic's at that point where it, like, just a little vibration knocks it loose. Something like that.
You mean like my Xbox controller?
Yes.
Every day it disconnects because something happens.
But I suppose they'll be moving towards wireless headsets in that generation anyway.
Well, there's a mic built into the controller.
Yeah.
I don't know how well that's going to work. But who knows? There was also like ray tracing and stuff, but I don't really want to get too technical with things because honestly, I care more about the games than I do the consoles.
Yes.
Yeah, same.
The next thing was super interesting to me. I hate the name. The name is almost like a pun. But
what's the name, Josh?
But the name is Returnal. Do you get it? Because it's return and eternal combined. But it looks super interesting. It looked like some sort of cyclic game where the world unlocks the more you play the cycle and you learn more about the world around you. But like the enemies look Lovecraft based and like H.R. Geiger from Alien. The fact that you're like crashing in a ship and being stranded on an alien planet is like super Alien. Ridley Scott's Alien. And it was also interesting that I said to you, Callum, when we were watching it, it's like, or we both said actually, the start of the trailer made it seem like a horror game. But then by the time the trailer ended, it was showing a bunch of like over-the-shoulder, third-person shooter action stuff. Which makes me think, does the game start like a horror game? And then the more you learn about the world and unlock stuff, that's when you get more into the action type things.
That'd be quite a cool progression, I think.
What if you beat the game without dying, though? Because it seems like the world evolves the more you die. Because she learns more and it changes.
It's probably scripted.
I imagine it changes at certain points.
It could be cool if they have a way that you can beat the game by doing the one life. Because there's a lot of games where, like Nier Automata, where like you beat the game and then it unlocks more, right, Cal? I haven't played it, but from the sounds of that,
yes, there's multiple playthroughs, and then it's different perspectives, essentially. Well, the second one's a different perspective, and then it carries on going.
Unfortunately, this one did not have a release date, which is probably one of the ones that got me most hyped throughout the entire conference. Also, she had Bowie eyes. She had brown and blue eyes. I don't know whether you guys want to add anything on that, or...
I was going to say, I wonder if it'll be like that game Outer Wilds. If you heard of that one, the one where it's like you only have a time limit and you explore space planets. I wonder if it'll be like that. It's a time limit thing.
I hope it's more linear.
Yeah.
Because they showed a ton of really esoteric like art as well. They looked like some of the stuff had like dark demon angels in the sky, and there was like a red blood sky and shit. It looked awesome.
Yeah. All I was going to say was that I hope it doesn't lean too heavily on the shooter aspect. Because like the whole trailer was going like, just she keeps crashing and dying and stuff like that. But then like the last third of the trailer, she just had a gun and was shooting everything.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't lean into the shooter aspect too much, because there's a lot of shooters out there already.
Yeah, it looked real generic. It just looked like another shooter thing, which that would really irritate me. But it's why I was saying I hope it progresses from like horror to that, and then the end of the game is maybe I don't know. We need to see more, but I hope it's more like survival horror than it is action shooter. But it's probably action shooter, let's be honest.
Well, I suppose what they could do is like you work your way up to getting a gun to get through that bit, but then the creatures and the world evolves, so that gun is now worthless. Like you can't shoot them with it, so you have to start again.
That would be cool.
Yeah, but God knows if they'll do that. That's very specific, but
I just wish it wasn't called Returnal. I really hate that name.
What would you call it, Josh, if you had the choice?
Like The Cycle or something. Or like, you know, like Returnal is... I don't know why I hate it so much, but when the trailer ended and it showed the name, I went, ugh!
Yeah, you did.
But the next thing's a pretty big one.
Oh, yes.
This for me was the biggest surprise of the whole conference.
There was a Sackboy A Big Adventure game announced, which is finally another Little Big Planet game.
Oh.
I loved Little Big Planet games
growing
up.
Funnily enough, I was talking about it the other day because my sister was like, "What was that game, Sackboy?" And I was like, "Little Big Planet."
Yeah.
She was like, "What was that game about?" And I was like, "I don't really know, but it was awesome." Because it was at that stage. Yeah, I don't know if it was that stage of games where I don't know if I was playing it right, but I was having fun, and that was the main thing.
Yes, I had lots of fun.
Yeah.
With the Little Big Planet game,
covering Sackboy in stickers. And then
I remember that. Abominations could make Sackboy into abominations on that.
But
it looks like you can on this.
The thing is with this is I don't know whether they've announced it or anyone's seen anything to do with it afterwards, but is there going to be like the platform creation element to this game?
I think so. They didn't specifically say, but
yeah, my impression was not, because it's made by different people. Media Molecule, who made Little Big Planet, went off to do Dreams, which is like Little Big Planet on steroids.
With memes.
So, mate, I don't know. There was still the bubbles, but I thought they would have said.
Yeah,
it was weird they didn't explicitly say, which makes me think it isn't in the game. But it did also seem to have multiplayer, so
which would be fun as hell to play. And like, it's not. You see the whole level, so it would be really easy for us to say, record us playing it, which would be fun as hell. As with Lego Star Wars, which I can't wait for.
Yeah, boy.
That is definitely having a playthrough on a Phantom Fleet, that's for sure.
Yeah. That is the future of gaming right there. Why was that not on this?
Although, who are the two people going to be playing it? That's the question.
Rotating cast.
Yeah.
And I am right in saying that there was no release date for Sackboy A Big Adventure, right?
No, there was not.
Okay. Then after this, we had... I honestly don't care about this at all, but there was a game called Destruction All-Stars. which is a Demolition Derby arena game with what looks like playable characters that can run around as well, like different, kind of like Apex, but with Demolition Derby.
Well, I was interested at this at the start of it because it was like, Destruction Derby looks pretty cool. Oh, you can get out of the cars. That's pretty cool. But then it was just more in the car, more people running around, more people in the car, more people running around. And then it just kind of ends. They didn't really show anything in the trailer. It was just like, you can get out of the car.
Yeah, right.
It looked like two simultaneous battle royales happening at the same time.
Yeah.
Like the game didn't know what it was. Like, was it a Demolition Derby or was it a battle royale?
You avoid cars.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be fun to play, but it doesn't. It's not one of those games I'm going to get really hyped for.
No. Also, I thought this name is worse than Returnal. Destruction All Stars. That sounds so generic.
You're right there. I mean, the reason why I hated Returnal so much is because the game to me looked so intriguing, and it was like Returnal. This, I was like, the name suits the game, in my opinion. This is a PS Studios exclusive, though. So.
Well done, PlayStation.
Yeah. You know what it made me want, actually? There's that bit of the trailer where the car gets a saw on top of it and saws a car in two, and I thought, man, a Robot Wars like arena game would be amazing.
Oh, God. I mean, there is one. It's just on the PS2.
That happened.
A new one.
I know. A new one would be amazing.
It would be amazing.
But they'd have to get, like, the original host back. Like, Dara O'Brien does it now, doesn't he?
He's no
Craig Charles.
Craig Charles League. But after
Who does the commentary as well? Is it John Motson, Cal?
Oh my god. It's like Jonathan Pierce.
Jonathan Pierce, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
No offense, Josh. It was a football commentator. I didn't think you'd know.
Yeah, I just stopped talking. I'm not going to lie. But the next thing I thought was also one of the things that got me most hyped because it was just a new property that looked cool. I think it's Kana, Bridge of Spirits.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the art style of it looked amazing. The music looked amazing. The enemies looked unique and styled. And there was cute as hell little black things running around that were furry as fuck, and they looked awesome.
It looks like because at one point she picks up a rock and there's a little spirit, and then there's a new black furry thing. So I guess you get more and more, and the more of the black furry things you have, the more abilities you can do.
It's probably like the Koroks in Breath of the Wild, where you find them and they appear after you've like got the seeds and stuff. It's like they'd probably be like a collectible.
Yeah.
I just thought it looked awesome, like a new like adventure story game with like new characters and everything.
Yeah.
What did you think, Cal?
Yeah, upon reflecting, I think it's like it might be the game that had me the most interested after all this. Like it looked like I could play an animated film. It looked amazing.
What film did you say it looked like? Which is 100% right. The Two Strings film.
Cuba or Kubo and the Two Strings.
Yeah, the art style was pretty much that, but it was a game. But unfortunately there was no release date because I checked like 4 times. And is it an exclusive? They didn't really say. Like, is it?
I don't know either.
Yeah, they didn't say at all, so I'm going to assume it's not. Because I feel like if it was, they would want to say that it is.
Yeah.
It was like the only one that I couldn't properly tell whether it was exclusive or not. Apart from the next one, which also was like, is it an exclusive or not? But this next one, it got me the most hyped. I'm not going to lie. Goodbye, Volcano High will beat Last of Us 2 for the best story. I'm calling it.
Well,
I'm not
literally the only notes I made for this game were band thing and BoJack furries.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like they just got in a band at one point, and I'm like, is that the game? Like, do you have to be the best band?
They burned their memories, though, George.
I I genuinely don't know.
It literally looked like someone played Life is Strange and thought, Life is Strange was good, but we should make it only about school and have furries.
No, Josh, it's not about school because they're saying goodbye to school.
Oh, God.
No,
I'm not on their level.
No.
I'm also not the right age.
I thought the art style looked quite cool.
I didn't think it looked bad.
Yeah.
It looks different.
It was just
It
odd.
Yeah.
Looks very teen fiction. What's the word? Oh, young adult.
Young
fiction.
adult.
Is that the
And
word?
again,
It looked like that.
absolutely loved Life is Strange. So, I mean, I could actually really like this game. I just don't know why it was... I don't get why furries. Like, are they specifically doing that so that they can... I don't know. It's just odd.
I say that every day in real life, Josh. I wake up and I'm like, furries, just why?
I mean, it's not... I guess if you are a furry, you can play this game and feel represented. But, like, is that really why they did it? I hope not. Because just make a game. Weirdly as well, it's not coming out till 2021. So I guess they've got a lot to work on.
Oh, I mean, the art style looks like it takes a long time. Like,
I know, yeah. It also looked really endearing. It's, they're focusing on character work.
yeah.
So it also wasn't a studio game, so I assume it's not an exclusive.
Probably an indie game.
Yeah, it was weird. I might like it. I might end up playing it, actually, if people say that it's like Life is Strange. But, Life is Strange had a weird, like, Twin Peaks, David Lynchian-esque twist that ran through the entire thing, which kept me interested in it. I feel like Goodbye Volcano High might not have something like that. But the next game, young Josh. Mate, I could see young Josh again. Because they finally announced a new Oddworld game called Oddworld Soulstorm. And Oddworld Abe's Odyssey was one of, it was probably the, second video game I ever played. I don't know if you guys have ever played an Oddworld game.
Not that I know of.
I've seen seen one, but I haven't.
They always have, a consumerism theme. Like, the Abe's Odyssey was Abe's race is being used to make fast food and also work at the fast food restaurants. And the evil corporation alien people with cigars, so you have to beat them. It was great, I loved it. And there's bits in the trailer where I see these little scorpion type enemies with machine guns that it took me 2 weeks to get past them the first time I played the game. So I'm pretty hyped for that. Although there wasn't a release date, and again, they didn't say whether it was the exclusive. So when in terms of a PlayStation conference, if they'd have said that this was an exclusive, it would have maybe be okay, cool, I'm gonna buy one then. But it's not an exclusive, I don't think. So, they were very loose with saying that things were and weren't exclusives, which is odd to me because everyone's been going on about how PlayStation owns the exclusives. They have so many exclusive games.
With the PlayStation Studios, though, that alone says yes, this is PlayStation for those games, at least, right?
Yeah, you would think. Otherwise, what's the point? That's the same with Xbox. Xbox have Xbox Game Studios, which that is them saying that they're exclusives, right?
Yeah.
But speaking of exclusives, this is a timed exclusive, the next game, which the first trailer got me so much more hyped than this trailer. Ghostwire Tokyo. Which, if you guys remember E3, that really happy Japanese lady introduced this one at E3.
Yeah, and everyone really fell in love with her for a couple of days.
Yeah, what people don't know, though, is that she left the studio soon after that announcement.
Do you reckon that had anything to do with the difference?
I don't know, but I mean, it's done by the people who did The Evil Within, which is literally like if you took Resident Evil 4 and put a more unique story and fine-tuned gameplay too. So I love The Evil Within and The Evil Within 2. And I was hoping we were going to get a sequel, but I guess they made this instead. But the first trailer made it seem like it was a survival horror type thing. Over-the-shoulder horror game, like Resident Evil 4, like Evil Within. But this one just made it look like a supernatural action game where you can like throw fire at people and have telekinesis and stuff. So I don't know. It disappointed me quite a bit.
I mean, I can't remember the first trailer, so I was actually really hyped by this one.
Oh, really?
I thought it looked really cool.
Damn.
Like,
I guess because I have the expectation of Evil Within, and I'm like disappointed by it not being more like Evil Within, I guess.
No, I thought it looked really cool, and I thought all the different enemies looked like creepy and cool.
Yeah, a lot of them were like Japanese horror, like Slender. Well, not Slenderman isn't Japanese, but you know what I mean. Like there was a Slenderman looking dude. There was a little girl with black hair, like The Ring. I don't know. I'm still probably gonna keep it on my like games I'm probably gonna buy list because I really like The Evil Within. They generally do good stories. So, what did you think, Callum?
I didn't have much thoughts. I thought the setting looked cool, and I thought I remembered the first trailer. In my head, I think I had the wrong game in mind when I was thinking of the first trailer. I was thinking of the one where it's like deer and like animals, and it's all grown over. Clearly not the same game.
The first trailer showed like the samurai-looking demon people that jumped off the roof in this trailer. But they showed like a bunch of people walking through Tokyo and saying that there was something going on with people disappearing, and there was a supernatural thing behind it, and you had to investigate it. So I thought it was going to be like you're a Tokyo detective going through the city of Tokyo, investigating all of these like disappearances, but then having like supernatural phenomenons happen, and that's when like but then this version of the trailer made it be like, I know you're a guy with powers who's going around beating demons in Tokyo. I just would have preferred the like open world Tokyo. I mean, it still might be open world, but I don't like how it's first person. Basically, I just would have preferred like the more detective style game in Tokyo. But it still could be good. I'm still kind of hyped for it. But yeah, it's a timed exclusive, like I said, which is weird, and it's coming out in 2021. So.
A ways to go.
Yeah, unfortunately. Although we probably will get another trailer at some point. Next game was what I thought was Jet, because the logo looked like it had an F instead of a T, but upon more research, it was actually Jet the Far Shore, not Jet the Far Shore.
That wasn't a great logo.
You couldn't read it.
No.
But yeah, it looked to be like a colonization space game with like a unique art style.
Yeah.
They didn't really show much, but
no, it didn't do much for me. But they didn't really show much, so maybe if another trailer comes out. Yeah, it looked cool, but there wasn't really any gameplay or anything like that. So
it's not coming out till 2021 either. So there's time.
The trailer was quite well done, I thought, even if it left it quite open as to maybe what it is.
Also, it was kind of weird that I almost thought it was like a Civilization style game, because the trailer started with like nomadic looking people.
Yeah.
But then they had a rocket, and then they still looked nomadic when they were on the rocket. So
yeah,
I thought it was going to be like you build up civilization and then you colonize space, but it looked like you
like
I don't know,
like Alpha Centauri.
Yeah,
Centauri.
And then what I think wins the most underwhelming game of the entire conference, at least for me, was shown next, which was Godfall by Gearbox. Which was just like generic sword fighting, get loot. Cool.
I don't have much to. It looked a bit generic.
I thought it looked fun. I thought like the weapons and the armor and stuff looked cool.
Yeah, I was just nothing there which made me think, oh, this is something I want to play over other things. I do like Gearbox quite a lot, but they've had a lot of controversies recently.
Like For Honor? Like
a little bit like For Honor, but For Honor had a lot slower gameplay.
Yeah.
Of it. I don't know. I'm not gonna. It's out this year, which is a good thing. It was one of the games which was like, yeah, it's going to be out in a couple of months. And it's also not an exclusive, so it's also probably releasing on last gen, if I'm being honest. It looked like it was going to release on last gen anyway.
Yeah.
Because it was out in the summer, I think. So there's that. I just didn't have any opinion on it really at all. The next game, though, which was Solar Ash, done by the people who did Hyper Light Drifter, looked very intriguing.
I thought this looked really good. This is the other game along with like Kenna and like Gran Turismo. I thought looked very good. Like aesthetic wise, it looked really cool.
Yeah, I think I made the joke at the beginning of the trailer, Cal. There was the giant like woman in white with a red sky, and I was like, it's like Evangelion.
I guess into a portal. Yeah, closest we'll get.
But it looked cool. Like the art style throughout the entire thing looked cool, and the design of like the protagonist, or I assume is the protagonist, is such like an out there design to go with. But so is the Hyper Light Drifter main character as well.
I love the look of the movement, the skating.
Yeah, and like the camera, I don't know if that was part of the actual level, but as you were going up the side, the camera shifted round so that you were upside down, but the level was even.
Oh yeah. We need more people to run like Shadow the Hedgehog, and I think this game's a good first step in that direction.
Of course. What did you think, George?
I thought it looked cool, but I don't know. It's not a game that I've particularly played anything like in the past. I don't think, like gameplay wise, but I did think the art style was really cool, and I thought the start where she like hooks a rock and rides it into a black hole, I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I guess the big thing here is like, to me, when it comes to like indie platforming games, Xbox have destroyed because of Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of Wisps. So this game for me was like, oh, well, if this is this an exclusive though, Cal? I couldn't find anything.
I felt like they didn't say.
Which probably means it isn't, right?
No, it'd probably be like a PC, Xbox kind of thing. I imagine. It didn't say. I don't think.
Well, okay. Well, I was about to say that maybe this is PlayStation's like platformer exclusive, but I guess it isn't. But it's still interesting, super cool, and I'm probably going to play it. I also haven't played Hyper Light Drifter. Have you played Hyper Light Drifter, Cal?
No, I feel like I should now
yeah.
after seeing that.
That's what I thought as well. Oh, next.
Yes.
A bastion of video gaming.
Is this the game we're probably most unanimous on wanting here?
Yeah,
oh,
probably.
Yeah. I think so.
Hitman 3! But the trailer was all wrong. It should have been Agent 47 with a katana slitting everyone's necks.
No stealth involved whatsoever.
No stealth.
And getting caught. And then being shot a few times and still killing people.
But it's all, I can't, like, part of me when I first saw this trailer was like, man, they're releasing a new one already. But then we were talking, Cal, and it's like they've nailed the engine in the sandbox for these Hitman games to the point where they can just keep adding content and releasing them, and I'm fine with that. It's awesome. Like the Dubai skyscraper at the end looked amazing. So I'm gonna throw so many people off that.
Oh, definitely.
I wonder how low you start off on that.
That's a good point.
It showed you climbing through vents and all sorts.
Yeah, I thought that looked really cool. Like having to scale the building. What I also liked as a mechanic, which I hope is actually a mechanic, is him just like hiding the gun behind his back. I hope you can just like press shoot to bring it out, so it's not just like you randomly pull out a gun and then they're like, "Hey, that guy's got a gun."
I think there's certain situations where he does do that in the Hitman 2, so they might. That's probably a thing that they've worked on, I imagine, and it actually had a release date, like a proper release date, month and everything, January 2021.
And I think if this comes with Hitman and Hitman 2, like Hitman came with Hitman 2, all upgraded to a PS5 graphics, this is
awesome.
A great deal.
Oh, man.
The ultimate Hitman game, surely, if that is how it's released.
Such a good game.
And also, it's not an exclusive, right? So we will be on the Series X. So
it wouldn't be. I'm sure it wouldn't be an exclusive.
They would have said, because they would have been like, it's now an exclusive.
I think I speak for me and Cal here, where I say Hitman is just about the only stealth game that we can play without getting pretty annoyed.
Without getting angry.
Yeah.
I mean, I sometimes get annoyed, but at the same time, it becomes so hilarious.
Yeah, it's just
you get it wrong, and you can adjust.
Yeah, you can just like run away and hide for a bit, and then it's fine.
The California level on the first Hitman game, Cal.
Got the one where you're in the ranch,
the warehouse ranch type place. And you have like 5 targets. Ugh.
Oh yeah,
yeah, not good.
I think I just got on a roof and sniped 2 of them, right, and then ran at the rest. I think that's how I did it.
It was very satisfying when we finished it, but it was actually a frustrating level.
Is that the one where you had to get the key card off the guy in that little hut so you could get in the house?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's that one.
I remember doing that, but then somebody saw me, so just literally loads of people were running at me and trying to climb through the window. I was just having to gun them down, and it was not stealth whatsoever. There's just a pile of 15 bodies outside the window.
I died quite a lot in that hut. I'll be real.
So, there's a couple ones here we can probably go through pretty quickly. The next thing was Astro's Playroom, which is like the VR mascot, right, for PlayStation?
Yes.
And all and that stuff. It's just pretty meh. I don't give a damn about any of that. The PSVR was so disappointing to me because it's like they released like a full-fledged VR when VR games weren't even like properly ready yet. They were all just like demos for VR.
Yeah.
And then the first proper VR thing we've had is Half-Life Alyx, which is I haven't played it because I'm not a millionaire, but it looks awesome. I've seen it played through like twice by different YouTubers, and some of the stuff you can do in that game is amazing. So I have 0 shits about Astro's Playroom, unless you guys do.
No, it looked cute, but I probably wouldn't play it.
The next thing was Little Devil Inside, which was like a unique art style puzzle platformer looking thing with a Christopher Lee looking dude and a younger version of him, or it was like a younger character.
I loved this trailer because it had the guy pooping. I found that hilarious.
The trailer was edited pretty well. Like, it was a pretty good trailer.
I thought it looked really fun. This one stuck out for me in terms of like the platformer type one. Like you were saying about the ones you were interested in, that was probably the one that stuck out to me the most. Just because it seemed like he was doing stuff for the old man, like going and getting monsters.
There was a shot at the end where you could see someone was on his back, so perhaps it's some kind of joint quest. That would be pretty cool.
It looked Victorian-y, like with how it was dreary looking with the art style and stuff.
Yeah,
which I like. That's cool. I have to see more of it though, because I don't really know what's going on with it. There also wasn't a release date, so and also I don't think it was an exclusive. So next, NBA 2K21. The sweat. The guys. He had sweat on his forehead. That's next gen sweat. That's all they showed. That's pretty much all they did. Was like, guys, by the way, 2K21, it's a thing, as if it wasn't going to be a thing. And our players are sweatier than ever.
They did get Zion Williamson, though, to do the announcement, which is pretty cool.
Again, I'm not the target audience, but to me, 2K are like ultimate scumbags at the minute because they literally put gambling in their last game. It was literal gambling. But don't worry, guys, it's coming out later this year.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you have anything on that, Cal, but
I'm not. I don't watch basketball either, so I'm not the target audience.
I am literally the target audience of the three of us, but I suck at the 2K games. Like, I've tried multiple times. I just can't get the mechanics down. I'm genuinely better at basketball in real life than I am at 2K. If I was better at the game, I probably would get it. Like, it's like FIFA, isn't it? It's just one of those games where it's like, oh yeah, I'm never going to get that again. But then you miss a year, and then you're like, oh, I do miss playing football though. And it's,
Yeah, I get that.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll try it again, but probably not.
Wait for the reviews.
If I was going to do anything, I'd just get like this year's game when it goes on sale.
Just my whole thing with NBA is wait for the reaction, because you cannot trust 2K, just like you can't trust what EA is going to do with FIFA. Like, it's just, cut and paste most of the times with worse editions, like the gambling, like microtransactions. Anyway, I don't want to get too deep down into all that stuff, because...
Side note, the new FIFA is so boring. You can't score long shots. It's ridiculous. They've just removed that from the game. It's very irritating.
And heading, right? Like when we played it for a brief second.
Yeah, I mean, we've scored a few headers. It is just a lot.
A few headers by accident.
Yeah, like you can score headers, long shots. It's like literally just impossible. It's stupid.
Sports games in general are in a pretty strange place at the minute, anyway. Next was probably the most terrifying thing that was shown.
Bug Snacks!
Throughout the entire conference. It's done by, Bug Snacks, and it's done by the people that made Octodad. But they were turning into food. They were, like, gleefully eating strawberries and being like, aha, look, my arm's now a strawberry. What the fuck? Terrifying! I don't know what you guys thought, but it creeped me the hell out.
It made me hungry.
Are you hungry?
Yeah. Doesn't take much to convince me to be hungry. But no, I thought it looked interesting, like how they're all really happy, but then there's obviously something dodgy going on behind the scenes.
Well, Octodad was that as well, because, like, it was a happy, like, you were like a father, you were an octopus dad for some reason, which they do explain, kind of. But then, like, the villain of the game was trying to cut you up and eat you because he was a chef. So, I guess they're going for, like, the same kind of theme again. But my god, it creeped me out. The fact they were so happy about turning into food.
Yeah. I wonder if it'll be, because... I know the band who did the trailer song. They're a kind of popular, like, indie pop band called Caro Bonito, and they used to be like really cutesy music, but always had like a weird bit of dark, and then they got more like indie as time went on. So I wonder if the music was on purpose. Like they sought out that band on purpose.
Yeah, to like tell people. Yeah, that would make sense. I mean, I 100% see it being messed up. It was messed up. Even if they didn't mean it to be, it was messed up. And then after that, they actually, did it have a release date? I don't think it did it? Oh no, Holiday 2020. It did. Holiday 2020. Probably not an exclusive because they didn't say. But after Bug Snacks, they were like, nearly over, guys. The conference is nearly over, but there's something really exciting I want to show you. It wasn't really over. It was a lie. There was like 6 other announcements to come. I don't know why that was where it was. All it did is make me anxious. But the game that was referenced, like, I'm really looking forward to this, was Demon's Souls. Which I don't know a lot about, but you were saying it's like a mythical Dark Souls game, right, Cal, that people have been talking about for a while?
Yes, this was the predecessor to Dark Souls. This was the first game. It wasn't as big on release, and then Dark Souls built on it and became massively popular. So this hasn't seen release in like 10 years.
Right.
So people have been freaking out about this because they wanted a remaster for some time.
They didn't show gameplay, but it did look like epic with all of the different demons and shit they were showing.
Is this the one that had the giant knight in it? I thought that dude was awesome.
And like at the end, there was like a Diablo-looking dude bursting from a mountain or a city or something. I thought this
one looked amazing.
I haven't played Dark Souls. I feel like I wouldn't want to play Dark Souls.
No.
But it looked cool. And I know that there's a huge following, so it's cool for them.
Yeah.
No release date, though. But it is a PlayStation Studio game.
So it's probably exclusive. I think Demon Souls was a PlayStation exclusive, and then Dark Souls went on to other places. So it would make sense if it's just PlayStation.
After that, we had Deathloop, which in terms of like well-made trailers, this trailer was like Archer and Tarantino. So it was a cool trailer.
This was a very cool trailer.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's been announced before.
You said it had been announced before.
I'm pretty sure I've seen it before somewhere at E3 or something, but it's another like cyclic loop life and death thing, like Returnal. But it looks more just first person shootery, right?
Yeah. But there's also like teleportation and stealth and stuff like that.
Yeah, and like it looks like another player can play as the woman hunting you, which I hope to God isn't like the drop-in multiplayer mechanic that's in other games, where like a person can drop into your campaign and try and kill you at any point. Because that's always irritating, and I hate it. It was interesting. I don't know whether it's done by the people that made Dishonored, so I've got some credit to them. It didn't get me super excited, but it was definitely interesting. There wasn't a release date though, so who knows when it's going to come out.
Yeah, I feel like this could be one that's not coming out for a while.
It looked interesting though, especially it looks like it's going more combat, because Dishonored you could do the 2 and it preferred stealth. The trailer looked all action.
Yeah. Stealth optional though, because he's stealthing at the start and then it gets
That
spotted.
is true. I wonder how that'll go.
The next one was completely unexpected. I kind of forgot that this leaked.
Did this leak?
The name leaked like a couple of weeks ago.
Huh.
Someone said that the VII or whatever the hell leaked.
Okay.
So yeah, Resident Evil Village, which we were watching the trailer, Cal, and you were like, "Is this Resident Evil?" I'm like, "No." And then they showed the original Resident Evil mansion, like in a frame of the trailer. I'm like, "Oh, it's Resident Evil." And then they had like occult symbols of the Umbrella logo in the middle, and werewolves and witches, and it's set in a village like Resident Evil 4. And Chris Redfield at the end. Oh, so
is the
hyped.
villain by the looks of things, maybe?
I don't know, maybe. He could just be like a third party. Kind of like how Ava, God damn it. It's something like Ava Wong or something in Resident Evil 4. There's a third party in Resident Evil 4. It could be similar.
I just assumed he shot that girl because she'd like got bitten by a werewolf or something.
Oh yeah.
It's like I didn't see him as like a bad guy. I just thought he was like
if it's Resident Evil fashion or how they've treated like other things in the past that are like werewolves, vampires, and stuff, it'll be like a virus that people get which turns them into werewolves, but they won't call them werewolves.
No.
They'll call them something else. I know I'm hyped because we also have Resident Evil 4 remake coming as well. So that's pretty much all but confirmed that they're working on that as well.
Yes. I thought this was the Resident Evil 4 remake when I saw bearded Leon. I thought I recognized him. I thought this was the remake.
I'm not sure whether it was Leon. I mean, the problem with that is that he's way older than Chris in the context of this game. But I don't know. It would be awesome, especially if they actually put like Resident Evil 4 links in Village, because they know the remake's coming as well, because they do change the story slightly with the remakes. So who knows?
And it said his story is coming to an end. Like, so it's maybe Leon. Unless it's Chris they're referring to.
It could be Chris. It could just be the new character of Resident Evil as well. The one that they introduced in 7. So hyped. Probably going to play it. 2021 though, so reasonable amount of time to wait. And I imagine it's not an exclusive. Again, they didn't say, so it's probably not an exclusive. So the next one was very odd. It was a game called Pragmata. It looked like a sci-fi game. But I had no clue what it actually is. They just showed a load of stuff. But that makes sense because it's not coming out till 2022. So obviously there's a lot of development left. But the guy's suit almost looked like Death Stranding. You know, like how he had the kibble on his back.
Yeah,
there was,
this looked Kojima to me.
and
This
also
trailer.
people on Reddit have been linking that as well. Like the Death Stranding Reddit is saying, "Is this actually like a Death Stranding thing? Like, what is it?" But I don't get why they would not advertise it being that. I guess the Death Stranding marketing has been weird as hell, so maybe, who knows.
I just thought it looked like a Kojima game, but people were probably just, Death Stranding sold well. Like, so now there's a chance for people to just get weird, perhaps.
Mm.
What did you think of it, Joe? I know there isn't much to say, but...
Yeah, they went to the moon.
They did!
Yeah.
And the little girl could breathe somehow, right?
Yeah, well, there was a close-up of her eyes.
She looked like a robot.
It looked like robot eyes.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't really know. It looked like you could sort of make things on the fly, like when he makes that massive green net to protect themselves.
Yeah.
He, like, does some shit and makes that. So I think, like, if it continues like that going forward, like not necessarily weaponry, but equipment stuff will be really cool. But that was pretty much the only thing I took away from it. Like, at first I thought it looked like Anthem, but then I was like, wait.
Oh, you're right. That's it. The helmet looked like the Anthem helmet. Oh, I couldn't put my finger on what the helmet reminded me of.
I was like, surely not. Right?
Yeah, that game crashed and burned, and is still burning.
Yeah. Isn't it all an Xbox and exclusive? Is it?
No, it's not. No,
It said
no. It's also no one played it.
No.
Apparently, it was pretty broken when it launched as well, which sucks because that was the Mass Effect replacement.
Yes,
I remember seeing the original trailer for that though, and being pretty hyped, but then just But yeah, that's what the suit reminded me of.
Yeah, you're right. I couldn't put my finger on what it reminded me of. It was like a mixture between Kojima Man and Anthem helmet.
Yeah, the suit reminded me of Vanquish.
The
Platinum game like 10 years ago or so. It looked like that.
I'll have a look for it now. Vanquish.
But that was definitely the game that's probably the furthest off, right, in terms of being released, I would imagine.
What was it, 2022? Yeah, probably.
Actually, Demon's Souls could take a while to come out.
I also think that the Deathloop might be a while as well. But yeah, it was definitely
probably that Square Enix game.
Yeah.
Like, no game like that looked far.
The next one was probably the biggest reveal of the entire event, other than the console. Horizon Forbidden West, so Horizon 2, the sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn, which is a game that I have tried to play through 3 times and can never get all the way to the end because I just hate forced stealth. At the beginning of that game, you have to use stealth, otherwise you get wrecked by everything. But I appreciate all of the stuff in the game. The game looks amazing. All the creatures are amazing. Like, the different robots and stuff are awesome. It's also one of the times where I get into a game and there's so much you can do that I'm just overwhelmed and I'm like, no, I don't want to play it anymore. Like, all the different arrows you can use, all different bows, it's all great, but I just not, at least for when I've been trying to play it, not the game for me at the time. But the trailer looked awesome.
Yeah.
Like, they had, like, mama-killed robots, a giant turtle robot, alligator robots, which that water level is going to suck. I already know that water level is going to suck.
What? Water levels are always great.
Yeah, right?
What games don't have bad water levels? Like, really?
But yeah, this would 100% be an exclusive and be no release date at the minute, so.
Have you played Horizon Zero Dawn, Cal?
No, I don't. I actually don't know a lot about this game. I thought the enemies looked cool, but I mean, what about the stealth, Josh? Is it like you get instantly caught, or is it like you can run away and maybe
No,
get them
it's
some other way?
at the beginning of the game. There's these robots. I can't remember what they're actually called in the context of the game, but they're called, I think they're like seekers. And if they see you, they alert the bigger robots, which are harder to kill, to your position, and you get swarmed. So it's not like an instant death, but it's like if you get caught by them or don't take them out first. It's all good gameplay stuff. Like it makes you think about who you have to take out first in a fight, and then who you leave to last, and which is usually stuff I love. But I just couldn't get into it because I would be in a bush and they would see me and I'd be like, "This bush, fuck's sake!" And then I'd get caught. I'd have to just abandon all kind of strategy and just try and kill everything. So it's more me being bad at the type of game than it is the game being bad.
Yeah. No, Callum, I also have not played it. So we're probably the worst authorities to talk about, probably the biggest reveal from the event.
Other than the console.
And maybe Demon's Souls, which none of us have also played Dark Souls games.
But, I mean, I thought it looked great. I always wanted to play the Zero Dawn, but I didn't have the PS4, so... Well, I did, but I sold it for the Switch. Anyway, the two things I thought when I saw the trailer was that the turtle looked exactly like a Torterra from Pokemon.
Oh, fuck, yeah.
And then the giant robot war elephants looked like Lord of the Rings.
Mumakil, yeah.
Yeah.
It made me really interested as to how the first game's story ends, because the first game had a pretty decent story that actually hooked me. I just couldn't get through it. So yeah, it might make me... in fact, I should try and finish Zero Dawn. I know I can finish it, it's just... I don't know. I haven't given the game enough credit, so I should go back to it and play it.
We've got the time, there's no release date.
It's true.
On this sequel.
Yeah, very true.
Also, just a fun fact about the developers, they designed the engine for Death Stranding. So... there's a Kojima connection. But next was the big one. They finally revealed their console. And it's about fucking time. It releases later in the year, for fuck's sake. Console, controller, remote, headphones, a camera. Who cares about the camera? Let's start there. Who the hell cares about the camera? No one cares about the camera, Sony.
The government do. They're watching it.
Okay, let's start with the controller, because they announced that first a month back or whatever. What do you guys think of the controller?
What was that? The controller?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it looks... I wish there was a bit more colour on it, but I think it looked like... I don't know. It looks alright. You can never tell until you hold it, really. You don't know how it's going to feel in your hands. Like, vary person to person, like depending how big your hands are, all that sort of nonsense. But yeah, I think it looks alright.
I think it would look a lot better if the colours were reversed to me, and that'll probably come out as a colour.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something weird about the buttons.
Yeah, or maybe if the buttons were black as well. I think there's just a bit...
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at an Xbox... Like, I have a white Xbox controller here, but the buttons are black with, like, white text on them. So that would help it make it stand out or whatever.
It's just... it looks like they've gone with a bulkier, more Xbox One style controller, which is great, because I think the Xbox One controller is objectively better than the PlayStation controller. It's just bulkier, it's better to hold. But like the color, why isn't it black?
Yeah.
I know that it's like, PlayStation have always had black control, but black, in my experience, when you have a white anything, after a couple of years, it looks like shit. Just because like the staining, the just wear and tear, it just make it black. I've seen images of it black as well, and it looks so much better. I honestly don't have that much of a strong opinion on the overall design. I just hate the white, how white it is. And then it looks like it's wearing black underwear. I'm the biggest thing, and the thing I should care about the most, is that it's a bigger controller that's more like the Xbox One, so it'll be more comfortable for me to use. Probably. And then they had that. Other than that, that's like the first big one. But other than that, they had like the remote, the headphones, the camera. I don't care about any of that.
No, I
thought the headphones look cool. But
they have that 3D audio thing.
And they finally showed the console, what the console looks like. And what did you guys think of what the console looks like?
The standard console. Yeah. I like the look of the digital edition much, much more, because it doesn't have the weird disc drive, but at the same time I would want a disc drive.
Yeah, they advertised a media controller, so Blu-rays, to play your movies. But then we're like, but you can't, and then like, I don't know. The Blu-ray drive looks like it's been slapped onto the side of the console.
Yeah.
And it makes it look unsymmetrical. I don't know. Anyway, before we get too far into specific details, what did you think, Callum?
I mean, when I saw it, I was like, "Wow!" I could not believe somebody went so bold. It looks like a football trophy. It just, or like an ornament on.
Yeah.
I know not many people have ornaments that look so futuristic on the side of on their cabinets, but it just looks. I still don't even know. Like a day later, I admire that they were so bold. The disc looks upright. Upright, it looks cool. I think. On its side, it doesn't look good.
It to me, it screams of like the very timely transition of the original Xbox to the 360, where they went from a standard black box to a white, weird, curvy 360 button console that looked nothing like the console before it. And at the time when it was announced, everyone was like, "Oh, it looks so futuristic." And then 5 years passed, and it ended up looking like a piece of shit. But, you know, this now is like, oh my god, it looks so futuristic, but it looks like a concept console. In 5 years, I guarantee this thing is going to look just dated as hell. It's like, also, it's huge. I don't know if you saw, I found a comparison because people have worked out how big the things are from the USB ports. It's so much bigger than the Series X.
Which is ridiculous because the Series X looks massive, but yeah, it looks huge. It's mental.
I just, and also, like you were saying, Callum, on its side, while I think on its side, the left-hand side of it looks good, the right-hand side looks like you're squeezing a burrito, and the filling is all coming out at the end of the burrito.
Yeah, it looks as though the console's trying to break out of its shell. It just doesn't look. Yeah, it just doesn't look symmetrical at all. I'm sure.
My overall thing with it is that, like, I don't buy a console to invite people around the house to be, look at this console, look how good my console looks. You know, I buy a console so I can invite people around the house and be like, look at this game, look at this awesome game. And if you put the PS5 in a living room, people are going to be like, what the hell is that? If you put the Xbox Series X, it looks like a media player. Or a PC tower. Or, you know, it's plain. So, you know, it's just, I don't know. I don't know what the point in going so outlandish with how a console looks is. To me.
I don't think either design is very good.
No, I agree.
The Xbox maybe looks a bit too boring, whereas the PlayStation looks too... Oh, it looks ridiculous.
But here's the thing. I have a black PS4, a black laptop, a grey and black Nintendo Switch, a black TV, and a black Xbox One. If I was to buy the PS5 and put it next to that stuff, it would be hell. My theme would be gone.
Yeah, but there'll be a black and white option. The things will be reversed.
but
then they still have a load of white on it.
Black and white look
Oh,
good.
yeah, the
if
white
it was
will burst
just
out in the
black,
middle.
then
It was
sure.
black.
But the series, what I'm saying is I can put the Series X anywhere and it won't immediately be like, what the hell is that? You know? Because it is so boring. It's just a black box. Which I would take over something that compromises the living room.
Yeah.
But you're right, that if you put both of them next to each other, if anything, the PS5 makes the Xbox look even more boring.
Yes.
I know, props, like you said, props to Sony for going so out there, because we always get like these concept images of the consoles, and they're never what they actually look like. But this time, it's as if Sony were actually like, no, we're going to make the concept console be the actual console.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's because they were like, oh, biggest generational gap, let's just make an outlandish console. Or was it that it's just so demanding, like the calling and such, that this is their answer?
Here's a horror thought I had, though. I work at a game store, and we stack the consoles on racks, and because consoles are slabs, you can do it easily. How the hell am I going to stack concrete blocks and wavy internet routers on top of each other without them either taking up all of the space and not having enough to put any stock up, or having the PS5s like roll off each other? It's going to be hell.
They look massive. They do look massive.
It's going to be hell. I don't know what I'm going to do. And then I guess the other thing is that they did that we've already mentioned it slightly, but they released a solely digital version, which is a no-go for me because I have a ton of Blu-rays.
Yeah, it looks better, but it is just inconvenient not having the option.
Yeah. So, which do you guys think is objectively better looking, the Series X or the PS5?
Probably the Series X. I just like how simple it is.
I also love that the top glows green. That's pretty cool.
Does it?
Yeah, when you turn it on, the top glows green.
I would have to say the Xbox because I would probably have it on its side, like on my display. The Xbox probably looks better on its side than the PlayStation. And at least the Xbox is just a box. PlayStation's a box bulging out of a box.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. Well, I would also say the Xbox purely because of how boring it looks. And I won't have to worry about where I put it or what.
No.
I just don't see the point in having a console that looks like that. It almost looks like a Mad Catz console. But, again, though, I appreciate that they did that. And the most important thing from all of this is that I don't give a damn what my console looks like. I just care about what games are on the console. And I'm a mega Halo fan, so I was always going to get the Series X first.
Yeah.
But I watched this conference being like, I wonder if they can also convince me to get a Series X at launch. And unfortunately, they didn't have the exclusives that would have made me be like, oh, but I gotta get a PlayStation. And most of the ones that were massive, like Horizon, they didn't have a release date. So I guess they're not launching with it. Which is strange to me.
Yeah. Well, in an ideal world, I'll get both, but
oh yeah,
I think,
definitely.
I think realistically, I'll probably be getting the Series X.
What about you, Cal?
I mean, I don't plan on getting any of them on release date. I mean, the PS5 is launching with Spider-Man? Is that the only thing that was announced in the holiday of 2020?
Yeah, and here's the other thing as well.
NBA.
It's
NBA's
not backwards compatible.
No.
There's only a select amount of games they're going to purposely transfer over from the PS4, whereas the Xbox is launching with 3,000 games.
That is a lot better.
And we haven't even had Xbox's conference yet, so who knows what they're going to announce. Fucking better show Halo gameplay. I swear to God.
They will. They have to show Halo.
I know they do, but they've messed up before, Callum.
They messed up last year, yeah.
Does the Series X launch with
Infinite, yes, and it will be on the Game Pass from day one.
Mm.
So if you have the Game Pass, you get Infinite.
Okay, I might have to get it at launch then.
Yeah.
Good job I've been on placement this year and got money.
Hey.
But I thought we'd end it with just what we thought of the conference overall, because there's been a lot of positive reactions to the conference.
Mm. Who wants to go first? Should I?
You can if you want, George.
Yeah.
Overall, I thought rocky start. I don't know why the hell they started with GTA 5, but no, I thought some of the graphics looked incredible, and obviously it's going to because it's next gen and everything like that. There's quite a few games that I was interested in. Not a huge amount of exclusives that like really stuck out as,
especially launch exclusives, right?
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, a few fun games, a few really beautiful games, and then a few just random ones. But yeah, I thought I don't really watch the events that often. I usually just watch highlights or whatever. Like we watched, was it E3 last year?
We did, yeah.
That was probably the first time I sat down and watched one, and then obviously again today. But no, I enjoyed it. It was definitely good, definitely worth it.
Should I go next?
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah, I really enjoyed watching it. As terms of making me buy it, it gave me a good sense of where they're going. You know, I thought Gran Turismo looked good. I really enjoyed the Spider-Man game. It came out, what was it, a couple of years ago now? So it's awesome to see more of that. Graphics-wise, it was really like Ratchet and Clank and the Kenna game that really blew me away.
Yeah, right. Which
like,
is mental.
wow, this is the next gen. Those are the two games that made me think, wow. Something weird I noticed, because I liked a lot of the weird indie games, but there wasn't a lot for general. There was no Call of Duty.
That's what I mean. There was no
FIFA didn't show up.
AAA. Like there was only a couple AAA titles, right?
Yeah, it's like Horizon and Demon Souls, maybe. I mean, overall, I really enjoyed it, but the PlayStation announcement is a ridiculous thing. Kind of overtook all the games from it, which they probably wanted. But yeah, overall, I quite enjoyed it. Some very intriguing games, and a bizarre console, but no price. That's
waiting on Xbox. No.
Yes, they are.
I hope they announce that next month, the price, because my god, I need to know the
Someone's
price.
Someone's got to.
Which do we think will be more expensive?
The Xbox. It has
more expensive.
Yeah, because it has more. It basically has better technology, more expensive technology. So it can't be that much more expensive, though, right?
Yeah. I looked at the estimate, and the PS4 was like $449.
I think that's really optimistic. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's gonna be like $550. The Xbox One launched at like $499.99. Anyway, my thoughts on the overall conference were that they managed to show a ton of variety of games in general, with like racing, platforming, puzzle, almost comedy, and then some AAA, which was great. But all of the games that I was hyped for weren't exclusives, which is strange to say at a Sony conference, because they've been killing exclusives recently.
Yeah.
So, like, Project Athia, I thought looked cool, but I don't know anything about it. Stray, I was also intrigued by, but don't know much about it. Returnal was probably one of the biggest ones for me, and no release date, so it's not launching with the console, and it's also not an exclusive.
Work on the name.
It's true, yeah. And then, like Cal said, Kena Bridge of Spirits. I assume it's not an exclusive because they didn't say it was.
Don't know.
Oddworld won't be an exclusive because they would have said it was. Solar Ash, they didn't say it was an exclusive. Like, all of the games that got me excited, Resident Evil, they just weren't inherently linked to PlayStation for any reason.
Yeah.
And then the console, I think it's way too out there. I'm very conservative. You guys know what I'm like in real life. I'm very conservative of how I dress. Like, black. I never wear any coloured shit. Like, it's just... I can't see me having that in my living room and not being like, oh, God. Because it doesn't match everything.
Unless they release a fully black version.
True.
Then I'd be all over it.
Which they will, right? They have to eventually.
You'd think.
So I'll say that while this was better than Xbox's third-party conference, which was a given, because that wasn't supposed to be a big event. It was... Well, it was. They advertised it like it was a big event, but it never was going to be a big event.
No, messed up on that.
And I was surprised in moments. Overall, I thought it was decent, and that I'm whelmed. It didn't get me very hyped. I wasn't disappointed. It was super fun to watch it because I love watching conferences. All the cringe that happens usually with like people taking the stage and stuff.
God, what about those transitions? Between every single thing,
like AC transitions.
Graphics people should have. I hope they earned their money from that conference because they deserve it. All those transitions.
Yeah, like George said, I'm going to end up getting both consoles anyway. And in the end, all it means is that gamers win, right? Like, it doesn't matter what console you want, as long as they're fighting each other, the more games get made, and more games have to beat other games, and competition, it's all good. So in the end, gamers win.
And the companies, because they make a fuckload of money.
And the companies.
That's the main thing.
And there's no point in... There's people already, Xbot and Sony ponies are already, like, brandishing pitchforks and getting ready for the war. But it's like, come the fuck on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think, unless you guys have anything to add, that's probably about where I'd like to end it.
But yeah, we've been going longer than the conference, I think, so...
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot to talk about.
Yeah, there was.
There was a lot to talk about.
Games? 20 something like that? That's a lot.
I mean, we didn't have any transitions, though. Maybe we can add some in during the editing.
Just
some PowerPoint transitions.
Anyway, cool. Yeah, sweet. We're going to end it. We don't want to go too far. Thanks for listening, guys. You managed to get through the whole thing, and make sure to leave comments on what you think on the console, and like and subscribe. See ya!
Thanks for listening, everyone.